What if I told you there was a player in the NBA who was so unique, so flashy, that he could throw passes no one thought were possible, but at the same time, his body just wouldn't allow him to make the simplest of moves? Sounds like a strange mix, right? Well, it's not a story from a video game, but the true story of Jason Williams, one of the most entertaining and controversial point guards in NBA history. Today, we're diving into the life and career of White Chocolate, the man who brought the funk to the point guard position. But this isn't just about his crazy passes or flashy playstyle. We'll also discuss the physical challenges he faced that made his career even more interesting. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why Jason Williams' story is one of the most interesting in basketball history. Jason Williams was drafted by the Sacramento Kings in 1998, the 7th overall pick, and quickly became one of the most exciting players in the league. Known for his wild, unpredictable style of play, Williams was like a breath of fresh air in the NBA. He didn't play by the traditional point guard rulebook. He created his own. From day one, he became a showstopper, making no-look passes, behind-the-back assists, and mind-bending crossovers that had the fans screaming. His game was all about creativity and flair, and that's why he earned the nickname White Chocolate. What made Williams even more special was how he was unafraid to take risks on the court. He wasn't just another point guard looking for the safest, simplest play. He had an instinct for the dramatic, for the unexpected, something that made him so fun to watch. And it wasn't just about the flash. His playmaking ability was legit. Williams could thread the needle with passes that no one else dared to try, and he had an incredible knack for making his teammates better. One of the most iconic moments of his early career came during the 2000 season when he delivered a no-look pass to Chris Webber that had the crowd on their feet in awe. This was the start of what would become his signature, a blend of skill and showmanship that defined his game. However, while his creativity kept fans on the edge of their seats, it also came with a price. His high-risk style of play led to injuries that would affect his career, but even so, he continued to push the limits of what a point guard could do. Now, if you know NBA history, you know that not every story goes smoothly. After a few seasons in Sacramento, Williams was traded to the Memphis Grizzlies in 2001. This was a fresh start, a chance for him to prove that he could be more than just a showman. And guess what? Jason Williams didn't disappoint. He became a more efficient player with the Grizzlies, taking fewer risks but still managing to pull off those insane passes. His time in Memphis wasn't as highlight-filled as it was in Sacramento, but he was still a fan favorite. His style was unique, and even in a more structured offense, he found ways to add excitement to the game. Williams was known for his vision and ability to create plays no one saw coming. He could thread the needle through traffic, and his passes were always exciting. It wasn't just about scoring or making the highlight reel. It was about making the game look easy, like he was playing a completely different sport from everyone else. But again, his physical challenges started showing. The more Jason played, the more he faced injuries that were a result of his high-risk, high-reward playing style. These injuries, combined with his up-and-down performance, made many people question whether he'd ever reach his true potential. In 2009, Jason Williams made a significant move to the Orlando Magic, marking the next chapter of his career. By this point, Williams was no longer the young, flashy point guard who had taken the NBA by storm with his incredible passing and flashy moves. He was now a seasoned veteran, and his game had matured. The days of him being the primary ball handler in the center of the spotlight were behind him. Still, Williams retained the ability to make highlight-worthy passes when the moment called for it. Joining the Magic was an interesting turn for Williams' career because he didn't just join any team. He became part of a squad that was a legitimate title contender. The Magic were led by Dwight Howard, the most dominant center in the league at the time, and the team's success heavily relied on Howard's ability to control the paint. The Magic's need for a facilitator, someone who could effectively get the ball to Dwight and create scoring opportunities, was critical. Williams, with his incredible passing vision and court awareness, was a perfect fit for this role. His ability to read the defense and deliver precision passes made him a valuable asset to the team. In his first season with Orlando, Williams played a key role in their offense. He started 29 games and, more impressively, played all 82 games of the regular season. That was a testament to his conditioning and adaptability, as the 33-year-old veteran was still able to contribute at a high level despite his years in the league. But his impact wasn't just in the box score. It was his basketball IQ and leadership that helped elevate the play of his teammates, especially Dwight Howard. The Magic's season culminated in an Eastern Conference Finals appearance, where they faced off against the Boston Celtics. The Celtics, led by their big three, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen, were a tough matchup for the Magic. Despite Williams' best efforts and solid contributions, the Magic couldn't overcome the Celtics' defense and experience. The series went to 7 games, but Orlando ultimately fell short, losing the series 4-2. That loss in the Eastern Conference Finals was a tough blow for the Magic, but it didn't diminish the value Williams brought to the table. By then, Williams had adapted to his new role as a veteran point guard, using his passing ability and experience to help his team. He was no longer the highlight reel player he once was, but his contributions were still vital to Orlando's success. His time with the Magic was an example of how a player can evolve and contribute to a team in different ways over the course of a long career. Unfortunately, the next season wasn't as kind to Williams. He struggled with injuries, and he also faced suspensions and ejections. It was clear that his body was no longer able to handle the demands of the NBA, and after a few more setbacks, he was waived by the Magic in 2011. For many, this would have been the end of a career. But for Jason Williams, it wasn't the end just yet. He had one last chance to return to the Sacramento Kings, the team that had made him a star. However, his comeback was short-lived. The injuries and physical challenges were too much to overcome. And after one last attempt, he officially retired from the NBA in 2011. And so, the story of Jason Williams' NBA career came to a close. But here's the thing, his legacy lives on. Despite never winning an NBA championship, despite all the injuries, and despite the fact that his body couldn't always keep up with his talent, Jason Williams is still remembered as one of the greatest passers the game has ever seen. He changed the point guard position. His flashy passes weren't just about style. They were about vision, creativity, and making basketball look fun. Jason Williams made people excited to watch a position that, before him, was often filled with more traditional and safe players. His unconventional passing style paved the way for future NBA players like Steve Nash, Rajon Rondo, and even today's point guards like Luka Doncic. They all watched Williams and learned from him, and his impact on the game is still felt today. So, did Jason Williams deserve a spot in the top 10 point guards of all time? It's a tough question, but one thing's for sure. His ability to change the game with his passes was unlike anything anyone had ever seen before. To recap, Jason Williams' journey from the Sacramento Kings to the Memphis Grizzlies, Orlando Magic, and finally retirement was filled with ups and downs. But his legacy as one of the most unique and entertaining point guards in NBA history remains intact. Now I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Jason Williams deserves a spot in the top 10 point guards of all time? Drop your comments below. I'm curious to see what you all think. And hey, did you know that Rafer Alston, another point guard, went from street ball to the NBA? His story is just as interesting. If you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Beastly Athletes and hit the bell for more legendary stories.